the Pierre Sports Center Buffalo Chip 100. I am Miles Hasless alongside Mrs. Shelby McDonald. We're about to kick off race number 1 of 2 for the UTVs. It's been great racing so far, but this one's gonna be a good one.
Yes, this one's definitely gonna be a lot faster than our last one. Maybe not a lot faster, but these UTVs, there's definitely some speed to be had.
The first race will have 10 cars. The second race will have 12 cars. So it's going to be a great one to watch. So I can't wait to get this one kicked off.
I can't wait to get the ball rolling on this one. Everybody's already lined up and ready to go, so I bet they can't wait either.
Absolutely, yeah. Get some chat. I hear chatter over the Rugged Race Radio. So let's go ahead and get this party started.
No, you did just fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. It's quick and short and to the point.
Yeah. Let's go plug this sucker back in.
So far.
So she's got faith you're going to mess up, is what she said.
No, I
I
don't.
got faith that I've already messed up like 9 times.
I don't think you're
I get talking too fast and then my brain is like, whoa there, lady.
Wait, what did I just say?
That's how I am
How
too.
do we open this?
This one is 0420.
0420.
It missed the
0420.
One.
Welcome to the 2024 Pierre Sports Center Buffalo Chip 100. We have some of the best side-by-side high-flying action to bring you right here from the Buffalo Chip. And this is Yellowstone off-road racing at its finest. We do have 10 UTVs starting this race, and that pole position is Austin Painter, side-by-side with Jake Versey, then Nate Thompson and Randy Tucker, then Tyler Nelson, Russell Talla, Dalton Ratchin and Casey Welty, and then Jordan Rupp and Angel Barker. So we'll have 10 in this one, 12 in the next. Cassie Tucker was supposed to be in this race, but ran into some kind of mechanical issue, so she asked if she could run the race next one. Obviously, that's a no-brainer. Yes, get your car. We'd rather you race a prep car than not, so everybody's on the same page there.
Sure.
And she's a rear start anyway, so
it's
she'll
not
start.
a huge deal
It doesn't
anyway.
affect anything.
One more
so.
car isn't going to be a huge deal, especially in a 11 to 12 car heat. It's not that big a deal because they have enough room to spread out. Now, say that there was 20-25, that's where it would get interesting.
And off the line now is Austin Painter out of Rapid City, South Dakota, drag racing Jake Versey out of Idaho Falls.
Looks like
And look
Versey's
at
got him
this.
for a little bit, but man, they are close.
This just goes to show you how fast this is going to be. Look
Oh,
at this,
and
a pass in the
Austin
whoops.
is-
Austin
wow.
Painter really gets around Jake Versey. That was a great pass to start out the day. So up next should be Nate Thompson and Randy Tucker. So Nate Thompson out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, racing Randy Tucker out of Malta, Montana.
It looked like
And
Randy
it's
had
side
him
by
for a
side.
little bit, but Nate is pulling ahead. Not by a lot, but barely. Oh man, this is fun. Oh, and it looks like Nate's taking tight on the inside and he's still ahead. Randy's got a little bit of some speed behind him, and Nate is not letting him by. We've got our next group of 2.
This is Tyler Nelson and Russell Talla. Tyler Nelson out of Evansville, Wyoming. And who's going to get this whole shot? I believe that was Russell. No, that was Tyler Nelson.
Okay, yes, Tyler Nelson and then Russell Talla, and it looks like we've got Casey Welty off the line with Angel Barker, Jordan Rupp, I believe, with Dalton Rathjen. That's who it was off the line. And now we have Jordan Rupp and Angel Barker right now. You can see them coming over the tabletops, and it looks like Jordan is out front.
And Jordan Rupp has already been on this course earlier today. She
Yes,
was
she
co-driving with Phoenix Darling for her first race this morning. And we'll see Caleb Rupp, Jordan's husband, race in the next race with Hit List Motorsports. And Jordan's got a gun tattoo.
Looks like Austin's out there pulling the lead. He has passed Versey, but Versey is not giving up, just eating that dust, trying to catch up to him. They're closing the gap a little bit, but then who's going to take off? It looked like Painter was getting a little wild. Hopefully they both play it smart because this is a short course. You can get tied up really quick.
And Pam Hall's tuning in. She said her buddy Russell Talla is Hank's age, her son, so it's cool to see that. And it's actually his first time driving at a race, so it's pretty cool to see. His dad Mark's raced the Baja and a few other things, so he's passing the torch.
Ah, cool. It's great to have more of these young kids. And even though they're not a youth raiser, they have aged out, I'm sure. What is the age limit? Do you have that? I'm not sure what it is on the youth raisers.
11 years old.
Oh, okay, so he has aged out, and that's why they've got him in the turbo class, which is really competitive, but it looks like he's doing well. Based on his starting position, he's doing quite well, actually.
And that believes Randy Tucker on screen. We got some great shots going on here. And I'm excited to see if Casey Welty, I'm looking over at our other computer to see if we got our star stream going. Once we get it figured out, we'll do a little side-by-side action. And look at this battle between Austin Painter and Jake the Blonde Ambition Versey.
Do you think he drove all night this time?
No, he's been here for a few days. And they are back there, roughly turn number 13. This is the new section where we go up on top of the hill. Haven't seen a whole lot of that this week. So it's great to see this great shot by Montana Drone Company.
Dallas is doing such a great job. And did you see Versey hit that hill in that dust? That just goes to show how much dust he's getting, because he, I'm assuming, didn't really see it because he kind of hopped up over the side of it, whereas Austin had the ability to see. He's the only one out there with clean air. So he's definitely got that advantage on his side.
And
But Versey is
all
not
over
letting him go.
That's pretty fun to see. So Versey's he is putting the pressure on Austin Painter. They're inside, outside, across the Pierre Sports Center start-finish, side by side.
Still right next to each other, coming into their second lap.
0.6 seconds splitting first, second between Austin Painter and Jake Versey. They just threw down a 4:03, so we were a
very
great
close.
guess. I think the 4-minute mark's going to be hard to beat.
I think so too. It may happen. Austin Painter's a fast dude. We saw it in qualifying here. We saw it in qualifying at the last race. We saw Austin at the last race too, who did Austin Ironman.
I believe so.
The 12-hour UTV
second
race.
Position.
Yeah, and got second. So he is, for an hour-long race, I don't think he's going to get tired compared to that 12. So he is going to keep Jake Versey honest.
But Jake Versey's no slouch either. I mean,
he's a big
legit
racer.
Professional racer. So
this could be a good battle.
This is going to be a battle to the finish between Painter and Versey. But don't forget, right behind him is Nate Thompson, Randy Tucker, Tyler Nelson, Russell Talla, Dalton Ratchin, Casey Welty, Jordan Rupp, and Angel Barker.
We've got Tyler Nelson and Nate Thompson already on their second lap, so this race is going to go by very quick. And they've got 12 laps?
12 laps for the rest of the day until the hit list shootout. The 5 fastest UTVs, 5 laps for $500.
So it looks like
triple nickel.
There went Russell Talla in his orange Can-Am.
With his dad Mark riding shotgun.
And there's Randy Tucker right behind him. That dust is thick right now, as you can see on screen. Even the drones are having a hard time getting through it to be able to show you what's truly going on out there.
There's 0 wind.
Yeah, the wind has almost all but died off. Yeah, the flags are not moving an inch, so that's going to be a little interesting. We definitely could use a little wind kicking up, but we don't, so you just deal with it.
Yep, you got to suck it up and keep going. We had Casey Welty come through, and we're still waiting on his star stream. We had it working in the pits a little bit earlier.
That's the way it always works.
Oh,
it was working.
Yeah, it was working.
I was winning
until I wasn't. But Casey did just buy a speed UTV, and although he's not racing it, it sounds like he's going to have it parked out here for everybody to come
check it out.
Peek.
So let's run through the list. Out front, it's Austin Painter, then Jake Versey, Tyler Nelson, Nate Thompson, Russell Talla, Dalton Ratchin, Jordan Rupp, Casey Welty, Randy Tugger, and Angel Barker.
This race is already going fast, and Austin and Jake Versey should be coming through here in less than a minute, starting their third lap. So this is going to be not a slow race.
And thank you everybody for tuning in to the 2024 Pierre Sports Center Buffalo Chip 100. We are here at the Buffalo Chip Power Sports Complex, and we are live from Jack's Campers Studio. Again, a huge shout out to C4 Fabrication for bringing this live show with Yellowstone Off-Road Racing. It is an absolutely beautiful course, 2.6 mile short course, lots of elevation changes, big jumps, and some huge turns, and a lot of off camber, a few G-outs. This course has a little bit of everything.
And with that dust, those G-outs are going to become more and more treacherous, and they're not really terrible if you can see them, because then you know when to avoid them. But if you
get
can't
stuck in the
see 'em,
dust, it could get interesting.
the attrition rate on this track is incredibly high already, with a lot of people having so many issues between qualifying and the race. Even Cassie Tucker, who was supposed to be in this race, she's having issues and just could use a little bit of extra time. So a little less than an hour. She's got about 30 minutes to pull that car together and be ready for lineup.
And we have a new fast time of the day by Austin Painter with a 3:59. So now he's got a 5-second split over Jake Versey. He went from a half a second to 5 seconds. So is Austin Painter turning it on, or is the dust starting to make an issue for Versey, or lap traffic? I mean, we got a little bit of everything out there right now.
Yes, for sure. And with no way to get that dust out of there, it's hard to say what's exactly going on. We can't see beyond the tabletops right now because of the dust, but Montana Drone is doing a great job being able to jump in and follow the cars that aren't so thick back there. I can't quite tell what number that is, but it looks blue or purple. And we just had Nate Thompson cross the start-finish line. So he is also on his third lap. That puts him in unofficial third physical.
Remember, there are 3 different classes racing all at the same time.
We can't give you the breakdown specifically because we do have some people jumping to other classes.
Yeah, we have the Sportsman,
yes,
the Unlimited, and the Turbo class. So technically 3 classes racing all at the same time. They are scored separately. A couple people are racing in multiple classes. So like I said, we'll just kind of dumb it down a little bit, and we'll give the awards out later. So we'll just kind of do an overall for now. I do know that Casey Welty is Unlimited, and that may be about it really in this one. Everybody else, I believe, is in Turbo.
What's Austin Painter in?
Austin Painter's in a turbo car, right?
Okay.
Turbo R
Yeah.
is what we have.
Oh, Russell Talla is also in the Unlimited class as well. So Russell Talla and Casey Welty are the only 2 in this class that are not in Turbo.
So those are the only ones. And Casey,
in this class.
He's not true race car in it if we put it in miles words.
Yeah,
sadly.
So, poor Casey Welty's had transmission issues in Broadview, and when he got here, he was out there pre-running, and he's like, something just doesn't feel right. And yep, he's got an intermittent front diff issue. So I don't know if it's in the transmission. There's some kind of clutching, I guess, on the Pro R's, or if it's a front diff itself. But Casey Welty usually way up front, but having issues.
That's a bummer to see because Casey's definitely a fan favorite out here. Everybody loves the guy. He's such a goofball. But
he's a great guy, and I can't wait to see what he does with that new Speed UTV by Robbie Gordon.
And he is so excited. Oh my goodness. And it looks like Jordan Rupp just came through the start-finish line. You can pick out those green wheels on her Maverick. Got lots of dust coming up. Hopefully we can get some of the W word to show up.
Yeah, the wind's
help all of us.
On and off, but it's only a couple miles an hour when it's on. So we need about a stiff 8-mile-an-hour breeze, just consistent, but you can't order that.
No.
The wind is the racer's friend, and he's not showing up right now. We will be giving away some beautiful trophies thanks to Ray's Auto Body and Fire River Racing. And again, thanks to Woody, who is Mr. Buffalo Chip. We have Brian Williams with Dusty Goggles Promotions and Ray's Auto Body. All of our volunteers, the staff, the media, safety crew, racers, fans, sponsors, and the Black Hills Four-Wheelers led by Jim Siebert running our safety. So again, thanks to every piece of that puzzle, we would not be here racing today for the Pierre Sports Buffalo Chip 100.
And Austin Painter crosses the start-finish line, starting his 4th lap. He's got a decent gap on Versey now, as Versey's just now coming through that start-finish line.
Yeah, it was a half a second, then it was 6 seconds, and now it's 10 seconds.
Oh
so,
boy, who is letting up?
Yeah, it's Versey. Let's see. Let's look at times. Looks like Versey's pretty consistent, 4:07, 4:03, and Painter's a 3:59, 4:02. So he's just
I think
a
Painter
few
just
seconds
might be getting faster.
and that's going to every lap increase by a couple seconds. We'll see. But again, I do think with the dust, with lap traffic, here
They
in a
went
couple
off the
more
line
laps.
almost the exact same
Oh,
time.
side
so on
by
corrected
side.
time, it's going to come down to less
It's
than a second.
basically a physical finish for Painter versus Versey.
Yes.
But yeah, Nate Thompson still in the mix. Randy Tucker, Tyler Nelson, Russell Talla has moved all the way into 5th position.
Wow.
Dalton Ratchin, and let's give Dalton a happy birthday weekend. It's his birthday. He turned 16 this weekend.
man, I
and I can't
forgot.
think of a better place to do it than right here with Yellowstone Off-Road Racing. And then Casey Welty, Jordan Rupp, and Angel Barker. Everybody's still moving strong.
Nate Thompson just crossed the start-finish line to start his,
Nate
I believe his 4th
Thompson's-
lap. Yep, his 4th lap.
Yeah,
there
Nate
it goes,
Thompson started in
updating.
the 2nd row, so he's got about, man, Painter's put 50 seconds
Oh my goodness.
on the field.
You can definitely tell that dust is starting to settle in because everybody behind Painter has not significantly slower, but just that dust is really inhibiting them.
And don't forget to check out Dusty Goggles Watering Hole. They got all the beverages you need. Mimi's serving up the tacos and the burgers. And they also have some pretty good smoothies. So if you're here in the stands, go out and check them out.
Grizz has got some purple smoothie that he is just loving over here.
Oh, yeah. Matches his personality. Purple.
Don't tell Rowdy, he'll be over.
The second fastest purple car out there.
Yes.
Tommy
As
Dyser's sitting on the pole. I can
Yep.
say that.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
down on paper.
Until he leaves the line, and then I plead the 5th.
But yeah, they're having some fun this weekend. What a wonderful weekend again. Thank you everybody here on site and back at home for tuning in. The Yellowstone Off-Road Racing Series is putting on one heck of a show.
Didn't Rowdy have to change the transmission?
They did. They had the transmission out last night. Thought they blew the motor up. Turns out they did not. We got some
They
gunshot.
had a lifter or
They had
something that was
some-
making noise, but
Yep.
it
They were-
self-fixed.
The motor had cooled off, and so the oil itself was still hot, and so the viscosity was low, and it just dripped off all the lifters and was making kind of a loud noise. They were
Look
only
at you
running it
using
in a
fancy
couple.
words.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm gathering some stuff, but so it was a little bit loud when they were starting it up, and they were starting to panic, which I don't blame them. They've blown up
Yeah.
four
3,
motors.
right? Okay,
yeah,
4.
3. 4 with the Jeep motor, which
Oh,
isn't a
okay,
race
okay.
truck, but so they were a little bit gun shy, and then they let it run a little bit, get some oil back to the top end, and then it was
cleared
good to
up.
go. Jason Pauly found him a transmission. They threw that in this morning and got that done about an hour ago.
And they've done a little bit of running up and down, put a
Yep.
heat cycle on it, and it's good to go, huh?
Yep, they're running a stock Turbo 400, I believe. So
Yeah, stock
Let's see how it goes.
transmission on a race car.
on a
We'll see how it
600
shakes out.
horse motor on that monster.
transmission came out of Nate Oilers.
Oh, it came out of Nate Oilers.
Oh,
Or-
somebody had to pull it out of their current car.
No, so Nate, when he was Nate runs a pro truck.
Okay.
They were doing some testing because there was vibration. They threw this transmission in. It didn't fix it. So they pulled it back in and went with the
The
original-
built one. Okay.
The built one.
So they eliminated an issue. Transmission wasn't it.
wasn't
So
in.
they had
It-
this sitting on the
it
shelf.
actually was a drive issue.
Okay.
A V-drive issue, I guess. So.
I was talking to Willis
Oh,
about
they
that.
had a lot
and
of
they
issues
they
with the
thought that
V-drive.
V-drive harmonic, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic voodoo stuff.
Yeah.
So it looks like Austin Painter clicked off another lap and has a 13, almost 14 second lead over
Oh
Jake
my
Versey
goodness.
right now. But Versey's in a comfortable spot. He knows where he wants to be. But remember, race number 2 overlays this. We put the times all together, so he may
What
be
happens
second
in
now.
this
He
race-
could move down to 5th. Could move up to 2nd.
Yes, it could be all over the place. It depends on how fast those guys are in the next heat and how fast these guys are compared.
I believe that's Jordan Rupp. No,
Nope.
nope, that's a different
She's
map.
got green wheels. That's
Yep,
the only
yep.
way I can tell.
You caught me. I saw the black Can-Am.
It looks like it's not Jason. It must
Oh, that
be
must have
Tyler.
been Angel Barker?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yep.
Yep.
Angel Barker.
X3. Yep.
But what a great race we have. We have Austin Painter and Jake Versey on lap number 5 of 12 on this 2.6 mile short course here at the Buffalo Chip Power Sports Complex, just across the way from Buffalo Chip proper. And here in a couple weeks, that amazing 600-acre facility will be in full tilt. They've got full service campsites, awesome concert series with, Kid Rock and Jelly Roll. They've got multiple bars on site, shower houses, laundry, general store. They got a gas station with ice, beer, and everything else you need, bikini beach, a zip line, and so much more. Oh, it looks like Royal got his drone swapped out. He lost a motor on his hot rod drone, so he put his backup drone on, and he's back in business.
That does not do us justice to how dusty it is out there.
Yeah.
We can't
They're
see
above-
across
they're
the
above
tabletop.
They're just
Yeah.
above the dust. You can see when he starts dropping down to chase how dusty it gets.
And it looks like that's Russell Talla coming through.
With his dad, Mark, riding shotgun.
Oh, fun.
Russell Tell, I'm going to guess he's 15-ish, maybe 16.
I'm not quite sure, but still very young to be that competitive in a car.
Yeah, he's top
That's
5 in a
amazing.
pretty stacked field. Oh, I hear a couple sirens out there.
There's
Somebody's
definitely
giving
some
a little, hey, get
Some
out the
little-
way.
Yeah. Beep, beep.
There's a lot of beeps in that song.
Yes, there is. Oh, those poor
That song is
volunteers
from
are
your
getting
era, isn't it?
dusted out. Yes. Hopefully they get out of the way, because that's the second time I've heard it, so
And you
they
can't
might
see
be
much
getting
with all
a
that
chrome
dust.
horn here pretty quick.
Now we'll switch back to the start-finish and show you just how that's just
This-
hanging out there.
That's a perfect representation of all we can see, because we can't see across the tabletops either.
Oh,
Looks
Casey
like-
Welty just sends her over. He's sitting currently in 8th position in his two-wheel drive Polaris Pro R, and we're still hoping for the live stream. It worked a little bit ago, but something happened. We're not sure.
Starlink is up. I got signal there. It's something on the camera side or whatever.
Ah, I hate
Oh,
to see it because we
no.
saw it in the pits and we had high hopes.
I was so excited.
But we still have a chance with Rowdy
Two
Smith
more.
and Tommy Dykstra.
Oh, is Tommy going to run one too?
Yeah, he brought his own.
He brought his...
And we didn't know it
Yay!
until all of a sudden we're chatting. It was like, "That's the Star Stream." Like, yeah, we got one. You want the link? We're like,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely we do. Oh my gosh. So we've got even more. So we'll have 2 from the same race
Hopefully.
potentially.
Yep.
Heck yeah. That'll be sweet.
If we can get them both working, we'll have 2.
We'll be able to click back and forth.
Oh, that
Well,
would be
no,
neat.
we'll be on that computer, so maybe we'll see. I don't know how that works.
And split screen.
Split screen. There we go.
Okay.
We're doing a little
Michael,
redneck engineering here.
We got this.
Thanks again for everybody for tuning in. This coverage of Yellowstone Off-Road Racing for the Buffalo Chip 100 is presented by Pierre Sports Center and is brought to you by our official sponsors: Blackbeard Bronco, Must Be Nice Performance, Epic Racewear, DRW Performance, Jim and Tracy's Alignment, and by Elevated Power Sports. So please support who supports the sport. Without all those amazing marketing partners, we would not be racing here today with Yellowstone Off-Road for the 2024 Pierre Sports Center Buffalo Chip 100. And there's a dusty car moving his way through.
Yes,
They're all
very
dusty.
dusty. Oh man, they're all going to come out the same color with all this dust.
I
Holy
remember
smokes.
Austin Painter, who's leading this race at the Dakota in Alignment and Frame 12-hour. He finished the race and his eyes were so bloodshot. I was like, well, it looks like your eyes recovered. I was like, what happened? He's like, he thinks his pumper got a hole or like something happened with it and it was sucking a little bit of dust and just
Oh, no.
was blowing his helmet full of dust.
Oh, we had something like that happen to one of our buddies. There goes Nate Thompson through the tabletops during one of their races, and it was blowing straight dirt in, and he just puked the whole time. I felt so
That's
bad.
not good for anybody.
No. I think it was here,
Oh,
actually.
really?
This track does get dusty.
Oh, it's bad
No,
dusty,
man.
yeah.
Those filters are going to be
Destroyed,
disgusting.
yeah. So Austin Painter still with the fastest lap of the day with a 3:59.
Wow. We're not even 20 minutes in, and they're dang near halfway through.
Are they already?
They are on lap 6. We've got 4 cars on lap 6 right now. Austin Painter, Jake Bursey, Nate Thompson, and Tyler Nelson are all on 6. Yes, and then we're waiting for Russell Talla to come through, and then he'll also be on 6.
So Austin Painter with Travis Trulio riding shotgun out of Rapid City, South Dakota, still out front. Then it's the number 43 of Jake the Blonde Ambition Bursey out of Idaho Falls with X-Comp tires. And then it's the number 930 of Nate Thompson with John Ferris riding shotgun out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota with Dakota Alignment and Frame. And then it's Tyler Nelson, the number 486 with Eli McDermott riding shotgun out of Evansville, Wyoming with another Dakota Alignment and Frame. And then it's Dalton Ratchin, the number 734 with out of Hitchcock, South Dakota with Stretch Well Service and Hiles Farms. Then it's Russell Talla. With Mark Talla riding shotgun out of Bozeman, Montana. And then it's Randy Tucker, the number 1933, with David Village riding shotgun out of Malta, Montana with Elite Diesel. And then it's Casey Welty, the number 622, out of Sheridan, Wyoming with Go Fast, Don't Die, and Method Race Wheels. And then it's Jordan Rupp.
Jordan is cooking,
This
and
is
she's
her
already
first year.
This is her
It
first
is?
year, and
Oh.
she's local out of Sturgis, South Dakota with Jordan's Got a Gun Tattoo and C4 Fabrication. And it's her first year racing Caleb's old race machine.
Yep. So, pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's cool to see.
And she hasn't made a race, knock on wood, without rolling yet. So her goal is to not roll this one.
Well,
There you
she
go.
made it through race number 1 riding with Phoenix Darling.
Yeah, they did
We're gonna
good.
call that a win.
We call
Yes.
that a win-win.
That is a good one. We're doing good. We're over halfway through our UTV race, or at least our leaders are, between Austin Painter and Jake Bursey. Austin Painter still has the fastest lap, with Jake Bursey right behind him with a 4:03, and I believe that's the second fastest lap just because of the dust.
And what a great day of racing it has been. And speaking of, we raced 1600s earlier, and we had Sheridan Adams just come in the Jack's Camper studio with us. So how you doing?
I'm good.
How much fun did you have out there pushing through with that little buggy?
It was super fun. I like this track. I like that it's little.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a short
keep
course. You
catching
kind of
people.
stay all contained, and it seemed like the traffic wasn't too bad for you out there.
It was fun. It was dusty though.
Yeah,
It's
look at
very
it
dusty.
was dusty. Now it's really dusty.
Yes, definitely. I heard that you were trying to push your car hard enough to blow it up. How did that go?
Yeah, your dad gave you full permission to go full rev tune on it. Did you?
I
Did you
hit
give
the
her
rev
heck?
limiter a lot. I didn't blow it
Perfect.
up though.
Oh.
Not yet. Well, better luck next time.
Yes.
What was
Columbus
the-
is next.
Yeah, what was the highlight of your day?
I like starting side by side.
Okay, they're
That is
rolling.
so
Well, I guess not
fun.
rolling, but down the hill side by side,
The-
and then you do that corner and head straight for the Pierre Center start finish. That's a cool little way to go.
That drag race start is so much fun. Remind us who you went off the line with.
Lyle.
Lyle?
Lyle Hogue. Okay.
How was it between you guys? It looked like
It
you
was
guys were
good.
kind of back and forth for a little bit.
Yeah.
Playing
and then
tag.
I let him have it.
Oh, you let him have it.
I
All
knew,
right, yeah.
I knew he was gonna catch me me anyway.
Yeah, all
So-
right.
Might
That's
as well
fair.
just let him out in front.
And you had
There you go.
Grandpa Dean help line you up there, right?
Yep.
Dean and Don, Team Double D up there, keeping everybody lined out. That's they keep busy up there, don't they?
They do.
Do they do a lot of barking at you, or do you guys stay in line pretty good?
I stay in line pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that true, Grizz?
On the race course.
On the race
Yes.
course, yes.
There you go.
All right, well, Sharon, it was a great time watching the race out there, and congratulations on another finish. And we'll see how the rest of the season shakes out. You'll be in what's next?
Columbus.
Yep.
There we go. So you'll be at that one. That's September 19th and 20th.
Yep.
That'll be
I'll
the
be
next
there.
Yellowstone off-road race. We'll see ya.
I'm excited.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us in the Jack's Camper Studio. I know you didn't want to come in, but we appreciate hearing your side of the story.
Thank you.
And do you have anything, anybody you want to thank?
Grizz and Aaron for putting on a great race, and of course Grandpa Dean for working on my bug. PRP seats, rugged radio, Octane Addictions for the new wrap this year.
Oh, it's
And-
pretty. It's
Yeah.
not as. It's more purple or more blue?
It's more blue this year.
Okay, that's what I thought. It was used to be a lot more purple, but it still has some in there.
Still has a little bit of
So
purple.
cool.
Well, sweet. Yeah, again, thanks for coming in, and it was great watching, and we'll see how you're doing up next in Columbus.
I'm excited.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And we'll see if you can blow it up there.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yes.
Because if Dad says give her all you got, if it blows up, who cares? That's what I'm doing.
Yes.
And it still looks like we have Austin Painter out front. He's got almost a 13-second lead now. Jake Versey in that second place. Nate Thompson, Tyler Nelson, Dalton Ratchin, Russell Talla, Randy Tucker, Casey Welty, Jordan Rupp, and Angel Barker. And it's great to see we don't have anybody that's dropped out of this race yet, because
No.
attrition has been high.
Attrition has been very high, and I'm so glad to see that everybody's still, for the most part, pretty close with each other.
And the Montana,
We haven't heard much radio chatter on the Rugged Race radios this race. Thankfully, our volunteers don't have too much to do so far. They can get kind of a little longer of a breather in between. It's pretty dusty though, so it's hard to say what's going on. We just had Casey Welty come through that start-finish line. Casey is still flying, and unfortunately we don't have that star stream
I
yet.
know, I was
but
so
hopefully,
hopeful for that.
Maybe by the end of the race it'll kind of pull itself together.
And it looks like we have another guest in the Jack's Camper Studio. We have Joe Miker. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. So excited to be here. It was a fun race today.
Yeah, it looked like a great time out there. And you were plugging wrong. That looked like the new wrap was looking good. And and you had some fun, didn't you?
Oh yeah, the wrap looks good. Thank you, Artworks and Aurora and Wilson Extreme Sports for getting that for me. Had a great race, but the first lap blew the power steering hose out.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
we saw you
that's
were
what
left
it
out.
was.
Okay.
So we pulled into the pits, and there was some nice people that helped us.
So you didn't have anybody per se. You just
No, we pulled up, and they're like, helped us. They helped us get the hose line put back in, got us some
That's
fluid.
amazing.
Did you have parts on your car?
Nope, they actually they were going
They
to take
had a
one off
power
there.
steering car?
No, they had we're just swapping hoses.
Oh,
Clamp-
okay,
clamp's
okay.
what we needed. So they got a clamp off the little buggy, put it on us. We went out another lap, and there was no more power steering. And that was the
Oh,
worst lap
shoot.
ever. Came
So it
back
was
in.
Armstrong steering.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no.
So now there's power steering fluid, brake fluid, and transmission fluid in my power steering pump. But it works.
Oh my goodness.
All of it.
Yeah,
Huh?
that
So,
works. But,
so you'll take it home and flush that one out.
yes, we will.
Yes.
The truck ran great. The course was great. Your staff out there is great. It was so much fun out there today. I don't know where I placed. I know I finished.
Hey, a
You did
finish
finish,
is all that
and
matters.
that's a big deal.
And I have yet to finish a race in 6 years I've been doing it.
Well,
So, Ryan, thank
congratulations
you. It's
on
a
your
win for me.
finish. You get start points, finish points, you get all the points today.
There you go.
Heck yeah, that's
Perfect.
awesome.
Well, thank you, folks.
You looked great out there, so we're glad you got to make it all the
Well,
way.
if you had a camera in you, you'd see how good
Yeah.
looking I am.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll talk to you guys
Absolutely.
later.
Sounds
All right, well,
good.
thanks,
See
Joe
you,
Miker. And it looks like our leaders are on lap number 8 of 12.
They are pretty close to being done here. This race has gone flying by. We just had Randy Tucker come through that start finish. We got some drone footage still going. Thank you to Dallas and Royal. They are killing it out there. I don't know how they can tell where they're going half the time in this dust.
Especially with the dust, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're chasing the car that's making the dust, in the dust, and
Oh man.
all the dust.
Yeah, all the. I can't imagine what they're probably gonna have to pay land taxes after they blow out those drones.
I do remember when we raced here during proper Sturgis during the rally, we had to have water trucks here because they were complaining about all the dust blowing over to the motorcycles.
Oh my goodness.
Motorcycles, they liked all their stuff with all that
Very
fancy
shiny.
chrome shiny stuff. I don't know.
They like theirs to stay clean, and we don't know what that means.
Yeah, so we had to run a couple water trucks and keep everything.
Is that where you ended up being stuck in the water
Yep.
truck?
I got stuck on a hill.
Oh no.
It was a little interesting. We had a couple interesting water truck stories coming from that weekend, but everybody came out A-OK. As Austin Painter, our lead car, is out on lap number 9 of 12.
We
And
are.
we'll see how far back Jake Versey is. It was up to 15 seconds. I'm going to say we're probably closer to 20 now.
Well, it looks like now that the dust is finally starting to blow out, so Jake Versey does have a little bit of clean air. He has no spare
Yep.
carrier right now.
Right.
None.
So he moved from 16 seconds back to right at the 20-second mark. So Austin Painter has a 20-second lead.
Jake Versey going through, he has no spare carriers, no spare. So
Did he start with one? Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure because it looks real goofy right now.
Okay, maybe so. But I know he
I
has
don't
it
know.
in full short course mode.
Oh, so
Yeah,
maybe he did start without one.
Mike Kim gave him the special Fox treatment from Crandon.
Oh,
so he's
boy.
got all the suspension
All the tips and tricks.
on this one.
There you go. Do you think his little dog is riding co-drive?
I hope not.
No, the cat.
Is
The cat, yeah. Yeah, he's a crazy cat and dog dude out there.
Did he bring his cat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
they have two?
The cat just sits out there at camp.
But what they didn't bring was their skunks. They left them at home.
They have skunks.
Yep, and all joking
Yeah.
aside, there are laws on bringing skunks through certain states. So
Oh,
when they
so
travel
they-
cross country, sometimes they have to leave them home, but they have pet skunks.
That is wild. I had no idea that was even a thing.
Yeah, Jake Versey raced with us down at the Nora 1000 this year and was doing great, and then I think he lost a transmission on his
Oh,
Maverick
no.
R, so he had tough luck there and had some other issues along the way.
And that's
but-
why he's back in his Polaris.
Yep, so he's in the
Okay.
Polaris. He's waiting on parts for the Maverick R, but he's raced a little bit of everywhere this year.
That's what it sounded like when he came up to Broadview. We got to talk with him for a little bit, and he was not sleeping at all. He didn't sleep, came to the race, didn't
Yeah.
sleep, and drove home.
Yeah, the dude is an absolute animal. But yeah, what a great race we have out there. Angel Baker, Jordan Rupp, Russell Tala, Casey Welty, Dalton Ratchin, Randy Tucker, Tyler Nelson, and physically in third and on adjusted time is Nate Thompson. And then it's Jacob Versey in second. And the man of the day thus far is Austin Painter. And the fastest lap is that 3:59. I was guessing 3:30.
Where
was
do you
way
think
off.
Caleb Rupp's going to be compared to Austin Painter?
I
Because
think
they
neck
like
and
to
neck.
go.
I think
Well-
they'll be very similar. I mean, during qualifying, they were within 0.015 of a second.
Oh my goodness
I mean,
gracious!
you
That
can't
is-
get
you
any
can't
closer
even.
than that.
No.
That's even more of a photo finish. You couldn't
Yes,
hardly
you
see
could
it
not
there.
snap a picture that fast. Oh my goodness. I'm really curious who it's going to be. I'm curious to see the results of the second race too, to see who's going to be lining up in that hitless shootout at the very
Yes.
end of the day.
The fastest 5 UTVs doing 5 laps for $500.
We've got a few Maverick R's out there, and they are still
Yeah, quite a few of
cruising.
them. Those Maverick R's are pretty impressive. I was talking to Jake Versey about that because he has one, but he's having some issues with it, waiting on parts, whatever. So he's got in his Polaris, and he's like, the Maverick R is definitely faster, but he's not scared to go out there and run his Polaris as hard as he can. So,
There you go.
but he's actually trying to sell. He's got this car and an X3 that are currently for sale because he wants to go up to Elevated Power Sports and buy another Maverick car so you can have two.
Oh,
basically
that'd
a
be handy.
pre-runner and a race car, and then you always have your own spare parts with you.
That's awesome. Then you always have something to rub off instead of just Grizz.
And speaking about Elevated Power Sports, they are running an amazing deal for Yellowstone Off-Road Racing. So if you're in the market for that, throw out the name drop Yellowstone Off-Road and they'll give you one heck of a deal.
Absolutely. I know they sold quite a few after that Broadview
I
race.
think they sold 4 units, wasn't it, right?
I think something like that.
Yeah.
That's
They were
amazing.
running a smoking deal there, and they still have a great deal right now.
We just had Austin Painter come through. Our leader is still pushing hard, and he's on
Yeah.
lap 10 already.
Of 12, so
Oh my
basically
goodness.
2.5 more laps to go.
I'm gonna go fill in for.
Well, Grizz and Aaron have been running a great show out here for us. Thanks again for everything, guys. So let's give another huge shout out to Pierre Sports Center, Wild West Off-Road Series, Elevated Power Sports, Can-Am, Epic Racewear,
DRW Performance, Jim and Tracy's Alignment, Blackbeard Bronco, Must Be Nice Performance,
Rugged Race Radios, Roller Construction, CEI Electrical, Throttle Down Customs, Dakota Alignment and Frame,
Mickey Thompson Tires, Montana Drone Company, C4 Fabrication,
Montana 4x4 Association, Combustion Syndicate, Montana Braveheart Nonprofit, Inland Truck Parts, ZRP, Napa.
Next Gen, AJ's Diesel, PRP, Dust Pods, Linrich, and Copyright Printing.
So please support who supports the sport. We would not be racing here for the Pierre Sports Center Buffalo Chip 100. And Casey Welty clicks off another lap as he crosses over the Pierre Sports Center Buffalo Chip 100.
Casey's moved up to 6th, and where did he start?
He started back
And he's only in two-wheel
8th.
drive,
Yeah.
so he is
He's got
picking a
solid
couple
run.
of them off, but there are some really fast guys.
Let's talk about fast. Austin Painter was 20 seconds ahead of Jake Versey. Now he's 38 seconds ahead. So
Goodness,
he
he
gained
is
18
definitely
seconds.
getting a gap.
So his last lap, yeah, he gained another 20 seconds. Jake Versey is off pace just a tick. But Austin Painter is hitting his lines.
And Jake Versey should be having a little bit of clean air until he gets into that lap traffic.
Yeah, lap
So
traffic's out there for
anything
everybody.
back in the section, or in the back section, really sucks because that wind does not get pushed out of there very well.
And don't forget to go to Speed Hive. You can go on the website and Google them, or they do have a really nice app as well. Once you get in there, search for Yellowstone Off-Road Racing and have the same timing we have here in the Jack's Camper Studio. And all of this live coverage is brought to you by C4 Fabrication. They build a lot of beautiful Toyota armor. They got bumpers and all the goodies. And that is Caleb Rupp's company. He'll be racing in the next race. Right now we're watching his wife, Jordan Rupp. Randy Tucker clicks off another lap. That puts him in adjusted time of 5th place as we speak.
Wow, these top 5 guys are really, really tight up there. Other than Austin Painter, who's just taken off, pulling
Yeah, it looks
away.
like about a 3-minute split between the top 5. That's pretty impressive after
all that
10
dust.
laps. So they're running 12 laps, which is 31 miles in total. So it sounds like we had one stopped on course, but then he took right back off.
I think that's the first time I've really heard any radio chatter this race.
Yeah,
It's been
the-
a pretty smooth
The
one.
Rugged Racer has been pretty quiet, and I don't see anybody that's dropped off the lead lap. So pretty cool to see everybody still running strong. The attrition has been high, but right now it's going smooth.
Yeah, these side-by-sides, these are some really well-prepped cars for them to be able to just keep clicking along as best as they can, even in this dust. I'm sure, have had a couple whoopsies between everybody, because there's, again, 10 cars out on the track right now. So there's got to be a couple little uh-oh moments that have come, but they have such great prep cars that they're just holding together so well.
And just like that, Russell Talla is out of the race.
Oh,
Bam, hit me up with that information. Tough break for him.
Gosh dang it. That is a tough break, but that is racing, and for it to be this late in the race, I feel like is pretty good for everybody to make it as far as they have even now. You can definitely see the dust starting to thin out, so I think there's definitely some people slowing down.
And speaking about the dust, he was hit behind from a car, and that's what actually took him out. So I don't know exactly what happened, if they got caught up in a little bit of dust, but he did get a little love tap and ended his race. So tough brace there.
You never want to wish that on anybody,
No,
but
absolutely
unfortunately,
not.
that's just what happens. This is a short course. That's why we have all of our safety gear, and everybody's wearing Hanses and helmets. Thankfully, everybody's safe, though.
Yeah, he got hit from behind, and it looks like it took out the left rear of his car. So
Oh, no.
open wheel racing, that can happen.
Yep. We've got nothing to protect them, and unfortunately, if they do bonk together a little bit, stuff goes south in a hurry. Thankfully, they didn't get tangled up with that open wheel, because sometimes you do see that, and then there are some really not good crashes as a result of it. This had Nate Thompson come through, check off his 10th lap, start of his 11th.
So two
with
more
Casey
laps
Welty
for
behind
Nate Thompson.
him. Casey just
So that must mean Casey
started
Welty
his
is
10th.
1 lap down.
Yep.
So the top
Yeah.
3 right now, out front and hasn't looked back, is Austin Painter. In that second position is Jake Versey. In third place is Nate Thompson. We'll see how this all shakes out, but it's looking good for those top 3 if they can hold it all together.
Let's hope that they can. They've been doing so well this far. So we've got a turbo, a pro, a Polaris Pro, I believe. So Russell Talla, I did have him in the unlimited class.
Yep.
So there's the unlimited class is thinning in a hurry. But we do have 2 more guys in the unlimited class in the next 3 more guys in the unlimited class. Casey and Russell were the only 2 in this heat in the unlimited class. We just had Randy Tucker come through in a Maverick R. Jake Versey's in a Pro XP, so he is not in a Maverick R. I was curious to see what our thing was. We've got lots of Turbo R's in our...
Yeah, lots of Turbo R's for sure. A few Maverick
Yes.
R's. Seems
Austin
like,
Painter and Nate Thompson are both running Turbo R's.
so yeah, it is Polaris 1, 2, 3 right now. That's a good...
Yeah, just had
Good
Angel
catch.
Barker come through in her X3. She just got engaged to Cody Olsen, we found out
Oh,
yesterday.
yeah.
So you'll be
That's a-
seeing him in the next race.
Fun little
Austin
tidbit.
Painter comes through again, starting his last
Oh,
lap.
last lap for our leader, Austin Painter. 1 more lap to go.
We just had Miss Jordan Rupp come through.
So I see.
She's on her 10th lap. They're starting to get spread out a little bit now in terms of lap time and lap traffic.
But it's looking like, as long as Austin Painter can keep this together, it is his race to lose. He has a 37-second lead
Wow.
over Austin Painter.
And they started neck and neck, so that's pretty dang accurate.
Oh yeah, no, they started side by side, so there
Yes.
is basically no adjusted time for those 2.
Yes. We've still got lots of dust. That Y.O.R.R is hanging in there and helping out these racers as they finish up the end of the first UTV race.
You can see the Montana Drone Company fighting through the dust. Believe that's Randy Tucker we're chasing right there. Yes, it is, as he's coming into turn number 11.
We can see Austin Painter directly out our window of this Jake's camper studio, and it looks like he's about halfway through his last lap, and he'll be taking the checkered flag the next time we see him.
And he's been averaging right around that 4-minute mark, just a tick over. He slowed down because obviously I think he knows he has a pretty good lead. And Austin Painter started out front, battled with Jake Versey for a few laps, but then started getting comfortable and really ran away with a commanding lead. So Austin Painter is right around turn 12 of 20, so he's about halfway through this race.
Nate Thompson just started his last lap, so we now have 3. Our top 3 cars are all on their last lap. And I don't know that our top 3 have changed at all.
No, it hasn't. You're right.
I don't think so.
No, it hasn't. So it's been 1, 2, 3 from start to finish. Obviously, Austin Painter and Jake Versey battled really close the first couple laps, but then Austin Painter got whatever he did, and he's looking good.
He had that clean air and just kept cooking until he ran into that lap traffic. So those first few laps were dang fast. We're seeing some cars get a little slideways out the window, for using Miles' terms.
You gotta have fun
that
with
word.
it.
And they are moving while they are not letting up at all. We get to see Casey Welty in his 2-wheel drive Polaris sliding through the same corner we just watched Nate come through. Here comes Tucker Nelson. Randy Tucker Nelson. I don't know where I pulled that out of. Randy Tucker came through. He's got David Vig riding through him. Do you know David Vig? A lot of us call him Dirtbike Jesus because he's just crazy. He's got Bear Dog and Little Beta Dog.
So we should see Austin Painter in about 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken.
We're getting some radio chatter that he is ready for the checkered flag.
So it is unofficial, but it looks like Austin Painter just won the Pierre Sports Center Buffalo Chip 100 UTV race number 1. But don't forget, we're going to mix the times from race number 2.
So we
don't know yet.
Everybody's in the top positions on this side of the race doesn't mean that in the overall when they combine the classes, because they can't run 20 cars at the same time. It doesn't mean that they are exactly where they're going to be in the overall lineup.
And here comes Jake Versey. The Blonde Ambition should be grabbing the checkered flag here up next. He had a great run, just a little off pace behind Austin Painter.
We're still kind of waiting for it.
Oh, there he
here
is.
comes.
Okay. So, Jake the Blonde Ambition Versey grabs second place. And there goes Jordan Rupp, clicking off another lap.
So Jordan has 2 more laps, this lap and the next one, before she gets the checkered flag. We've got Nate Thompson coming in, who will also get the checkered flag here in a moment or two.
So unofficial first place goes to Austin Painter. Unofficial second place goes to Jake Versey.
We've got 3 more cars coming in just within 30 seconds of each other. All 3 getting the checkered flag here relatively soon. Waiting for some more radio chatter on the rugged radios telling us that Nate Thompson should be coming in. Not hearing anything, so we must be slowing down because our Speed Hive lap counter is telling us that he should be here any second.
But that's just basically his last lap, I believe.
According onto it,
little
yeah.
ticker we're watching that you caught on early
Yes.
on. I like that.
It's pretty slick. And here he comes, and he is taking the checkered.
And Nate Thompson, unofficial 3rd position. So it was 1, 2, 3 from the start to the finish.
It should be Mr. Tyler Nelson, and then followed by Randy Tucker next. Not close, but within a few seconds of each other anyway.
Yeah, what a great race we just had.
There
And it
is
looks like Tyler Nelson, unofficial 4th position. Wow, Tyler Nelson on adjusted time was only 8 seconds slower. I wasn't paying attention to that. He almost stole 3rd place away from Nate Thompson, but he didn't.
He didn't. And those two went off the line together, so they were also... Oh, no, Randy Tucker went off with Nate Thompson.
Yeah, so that's where that
he
adjusted
does have
time...
a little bit on his favor, so are those 8 seconds coming into play?
No, I think this
Okay,
is their
this is
total
correct?
time on adjusted
Okay.
time. Unofficially, obviously.
unofficially.
But that's what we have here on our Speed Hive.
Okay.
Here from the Jack's Camper Studio.
And Casey Welty just clicked off another lap. He is now starting his last lap. We should have Randy Tucker any second now to take his checkered flag in his black and yellow Maverick R.
What a great run he's had this season. I remember that 12-hour Randy Tucker was on a mission. And here he goes, grabbing the checkered flag. Randy Tucker trying to follow in his son's footsteps.
Yes.
Braylon got 1st place in the Youth 170s.
He was also on a mission this morning, much like his dad. He must learn to. They must all drive
It
together
comes from
a
the
lot.
family, yeah.
Yes, in his bloodline. So we've got about 3 cars left. Casey Jordan and Angel Barker.
Yeah, so we got 3 more out on course. Casey Welty, Jordan Rupp, and Angel Barker.
Casey Welty will get the flag when you see him. Then Jordan's down a lap and Angel's down 2.
So we still have a couple laps more to go for Angel Barker, 1 more lap to go for Jordan Rupp, and next time we see Casey Welty will be the checkered flag.
We're going to have to eat out Jake Percy is going by us again.
So Jake Versey looks like took a little bonus lap out there. He was still racing.
He just want to go for 1 more.
So now it's going to look like on Speed Hive that Versey's out front. He's not. He just has more laps than everybody else. So,
Oh man.
well, Aaron will get that fixed here in a little bit. But yeah, Jake Versey accidentally did another lap. But yeah, it's unofficial. Austin Painter 1. Jake Versey 2, and Nate Thompson in that 3rd position. But we'll see how all that shakes out to set up for the hit list shootout. The fastest 5. 5 laps, $500, the triple nickel.
This is going to be one heck of a race, and I cannot wait. We are 1 race away from finding out who those top 5 are going to be, so we get to watch them do that green flag start. Everybody's off the line at once, and whoever finishes first finishes their 5 laps first.
Yeah, there's
takes
no
all.
adjusted time. This is good
Nope.
old boy, old school.
This is
One
eyeball
and done.
racing.
I love it. We'll have somebody with a camera, or I'm sure it'll be Dallas with the Montana drone, hovering over the start
Yes.
finish, just in case we need to rewind for the
Yes.
photo finish.
Just in case. Dallas has always got our back, and there's been a couple times where we had to go back and look at some times just because
yeah.
of the timing system. We're like, oh man, that was close.
And we've had a few times on the Ultra 4 side, at least, that every once in a while there'll be a red card filed, and we have to go back and look through some of the drone footage.
Oh shoot. Well, that's what we got Dallas for, because
Yeah,
Dallas catches
exactly.
everything we can't see.
Thank you, everybody, for staying tuned in for the 2024 Pierre Sports Center Buffalo Chip 100. We are winding down race number 1 of 2 for the UTVs. And then once race number 2 is over, we'll combine all the times, and that's actually where it is. So we don't know who's where yet until this next race is over. So this is all unofficial and until it's official.
Well, it sounds like I can hear Casey Welty, so you should be here any second. Maybe not any second, but in the next 10 or so. Jordan Rupp is going to be hot on his tail, also on the same lap, on her last lap.
Yeah, and then Angel Barker is still moving.
It's Campana. Campana. They brought it up 2 weeks ago.
You need to figure out how long you're going to let salt and rain for speed.
Just saying.
And Casey Welty just took the checkered flag. He is done.
So that puts him unofficial 6th place. That's not too bad for running two-wheel drive because he's usually up front. I can't wait to see what he does with his brand new Speed UTV. It kind of showed up, and Brian with Dakota Alignment and Frame had a buddy coming through with a couple Speed UTVs. Like, swing by, I want to test drive one. Well, Casey sees him, pulls in. He's like, I want to test drive one too.
Yeah.
He goes, he's like, I think we can work out a deal. So Casey literally calls up Robbie Gordon after he test drove it and had a couple questions. How can I get parts? Do you have spare transmissions? Do you have axles, engines, and all that stuff?
Yes.
So Robbie Gordon said, absolutely, we can overnight whatever you need. Let's make it, make it happen, and I'll back you up. So it was really cool.
So exciting for Casey, for sure.
He used to race Robbie Gordon's when he was turning the Wildcats and the double X's and starting speed before it was speed, basically. And and then
That's
Gordon took a little bit
great
of a
to
break
see.
and had to revamp and make the Speed UTV. So Welty went back to Polaris, but test drove the Speed and is very excited. He wants to, race prep a few things, check it out, fine tune it the way Casey likes it. So we'll see if he'll have
Casey
it ready for
knows
Columbus
what
or
works
not.
for him. Yeah, that'd be super exciting to see if he does have it all prepped and ready to go. I know that he said as soon as it gets back, it's getting stripped down and Casey prepped.
So we should see Jordan Rupp in about the next minute or so. She had a very solid run today. And then Angel Barker still has another lap, I believe. We'll see if she times out or not. And then we'll take a quick little break and do UTV race number 2, which will be basically the same race we had. Up next in that pole position is Caleb Rupp. Side by side with him is going to be Brian Grody. Then it's Cody Williams and Brandon Anderson. Aaron Kane and Cody Olson. Eric Rohr and Shane Dahlquist. Austin Campana and Jared Kane. Lance Horst and Casey Tucker.
So we've got 12 in this class. As long as Cassie got all her car back together, she should be ready. And it looks like the Rathjen car is still going.
Oh.
Was that Dalton?
Yeah, it was. He was just broke down, but apparently he got back in and going. So great to see him. He's technically... I just heard through the Rugged Race radios we still have 22 more minutes, so it's possible. It's possible they can let him keep running. Yep,
so they are going to let him try to finish before he times out.
Well, good for Yellowstone Off-Road Racing. I like how they give everybody a fair shot at it.
As long as you can make your last lap within the time limit based on your last few laps, they will allow you to go back out if you are going to make it. If they're like, it's going to be really close, it depends on how you come in on that last lap. If you'll be allowed to go back out or not.
Yeah, you've been around Yellowstone Off-Road Racing basically your whole life.
Yeah.
So it's great to get all your insight and your knowledge. It's been a lot of fun working with you, and you're right at home with Yellowstone Off-Road Racing.
Yeah, it's always a great community, and I've learned a lot through all these guys. And a lot of the time you don't see them call the time or the timing out in a small short course like this or like Powell. It's usually the ones that you see it happen is Columbus and Broadview, where they're the big deal races for our series.
Yeah, because if they go out for one more lap, That's another hour.
Yeah, it is. It's like, oh Lord, here we
Yeah,
go.
so you mess
But-
up this, it's 4 or 5 minutes, okay.
Yeah.
But if you accidentally let them go on one more lap, that could add another hour plus to that race.
Mm-hmm.
And then for safety reasons, like the 1600s, you don't want to have one of those out there and then send the big dogs behind them. So you really have to
No, for sure.
be on point, which they always are,
Yes.
but it's just a little trickier.
Just yes. Makes timing just a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But Aaron's a trooper, and so is Grizz, making sure that everybody's getting their fair chance to go out and race like everybody else.
So we have just a couple more cars out on course of Angel Barker and Dalton Ratchet for race number 1 of the UTV race here at the Buffalo Chip Power Sports Complex for the 2024 Pierre Sports Center Buffalo Chip 100.
Angel Barker just took the checkered flag and she is done now. We are just waiting on Dalton Rathjen to come back through and he'll be on starting his last lap.
One more lap to go for Dalton Rathjen.
Dalton Rathjen just came through, and it's his birthday weekend, so I'm glad they got that back and running for him, and he's making his final lap. It sounded like the Y.O.R.R people were talking about calling it, but he's not going to time out, so they're going to let him do his last lap because he's still got time to finish that lap before he times out.
Yeah, happy 16th birthday weekend to Dalton Rathjen. And the checkered flag flies for Dalton Ratchin. So we do have a full cold course. That's why we get everything set up. It was a wonderful race from the start to finish. It was Austin Painter 1, Jake Versey 2, and Nate Thompson in that 3rd position. So we're going to set everything up and get ready for the next race. That's why we have a little break in the action. We're going to step away and we'll be right back after this.
Stop into Pierre Sports Center and take advantage of our huge discounts on 23 and 24-year model boats. Our Lund and Ranger boats are all powered by Mercury Marine outboards. We are also a Lowrance and Humminbird dealer and a Minn Kota authorized service center. Pierre Sports Center is your one-stop shop for all your boating accessories and parts. With an outstanding service center and one-of-a-kind boat purchase experience, Pierre Sports Center, where you get the service you deserve.
They did $125 million worth in June. Holy shit! But one of the ranches is $41 million. That's great. Oh, do you do real estate yourself? No, you just do the
I
drawing.
wish.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Wish I got a commission on it.
Yeah, no doubt.
You should put that in one of your contracts. Get a little percentage.